And so can you tell us why you're here today and what the UCU hopes to gain from this strike action?
Sure. We work at a large international college, so it's fee-paying students doing foundation courses, some language courses, some postgraduate courses. The main pathway that our students are on is the University of Manchester pathway, so they're paying $18,500 a year in fees. Some students are paying less than that. So it's a profitable business. They've projected, even though they've had some difficulties, £8 million profit for this year. We put in a pay claim late last year for 8%, and we've been offered 2%. We've also been through a redundancy process since the summer. We had a ballot because we thought 2% was an insult. We had 83% turnout and 97% voted yes. So we're not asking the world, we're just asking for fair pay and some kind of compromise. So far the employer hasn't budged. We're attempting to get them to go to ACAS, but they haven't given us dates yet. So they seem to be stalling on ACAS dates where there would be mediation. We've had 2 days of strike action. This is our third. We're on strike on Thursday, and we've got another 6 days planned over the 2 weeks after that. So we don't want to be here on strike. It obviously costs our members, but 2% for a profitable company where they're asking us to do more than they were before the redundancy process is really an insult to our members.
Yeah, and thanks for that. And how successful do you think strike action is? Is it opening negotiations, or currently are they ignoring you?
Well, we'll have to see, won't we?
I've worked here for a very long time, for I think about 17 years now. And just over time, we've just sort of had pay decrease after pay decrease. Basically, we're being offered 2%. Inflation's sat at 4.8 at the moment. It's been consistently above that. You know, we were at about 9% a couple of years ago. And I just think it's unacceptable that a profit-making organisation that pays out massive dividends to its shareholders think that it's acceptable that their staff who work hard day in, day out, grafting to kind of oil the machine, as it were, that they think that that's acceptable, that we should have a declining standard of living, that I should be taking less money home to my family. It's just not okay.
And have you seen working conditions decrease as well over that time?
Yeah, I think definitely people are. We've had huge student numbers in over recent years. People being expected to work with larger student cohorts, more marking, more teaching, and just generally the atmosphere has shifted and changed. And what used to be kind of a more joyous place has kind of shifted to be something where I just think people broadly, and I'm not speaking just for myself here, I know my colleagues as well, just feel undervalued. Yeah.
And so in an ideal world, what would you like this strike action to achieve? What would be your vision of how it could be a much more improved environment?
Well, I think first of all, Intu need to come back with a proper offer, one that's much closer to where we are inflation-wise. We're not asking for anything ridiculous. We're just asking to not have a declining standard of living.
Kat, can you please tell us why you're here at the UCU picket today?
I work at a different institution and I'm a UCU member there, and when we've been out on strike previously, it's been really important to us to have sort of a show of solidarity of other people. So at our university, people from the college across the road have come down to support us. It really makes a difference to see, I guess, the interlinking of people's struggles and just get that kind of moral support as well. So I thought I'll come down and share that back with others as well.
And have you found in the past that strike action's been a successful way to improve your working conditions?
I mean, our past strike action wasn't a success, but at the college across the road, they managed to win 4 to 6% pay, and they also had a situation where the college was closed over the Christmas, but they had to take some of their annual leave out of that. The union, through that action, managed to win that wouldn't come off their annual leave as well, so they got more annual leave days through taking that action. So I think in the HE sector there's a challenge because you're dealing with the funding from the government at the same time, whereas some of the actions that have been taken in colleges I think have been extremely successful, yeah.
So HE, higher education sector, yeah. Phil, why are you here at the UCU picket line today?
So I'm a teacher here at Into Manchester. I've been here now for a couple of years, and we have seen a turbulent time in terms of student recruitment. We've had a significant number of job losses over the last few months, where we've lost about 40% of staff. But we're now in a situation where workloads are through the roof. Cover is required constantly because of absent staff, illness, for example. So there's a whole myriad of different reasons as to why we're in the position we're in now. But the basic idea of the redundancy programme over the summer was to make the business on a more sustainable footing. But when they say sustainable, I mean the business is already making 15-20 million pound profit and paying a dividend to their shareholders. So it's not as if the company is failing. It did need restructuring, and we went through that process. So now there's no reasonable grounds to justify a bare minimum of 2% pay offer, which in the real terms is a pay cut. So that's why we're on strike, because we don't want to see our pay further degraded, especially at a time when we're taking more work on, as our numbers amongst staff have been reduced, and our wages are constantly falling behind inflation, and we just can't accept another real terms pay cut. Our wages have lost a third of their value since 2008, and that picture cannot continue.